The first thing you need to do is you need to obtain a copy of PesaPi onto your local machine. So PesaPi is freely available on GitHub, and in order to get your own copy you need to use the utility git. So here I have a terminal and I found a suitable place on my hard drive, and I then just write git clone and the public available URL for PesaPi. I then press enter. You can see that it's cloning into PesaPi, and it goes to the server and downloads a copy of PesaPi. Next, I find my FTP client and log into the host where I'm hosting the site. And this is a completely blank host. I find the PesaPi folder, I go into it. I find PHP subfolder, I go into it. And here, the important folders are include and webroot. So the include folder, I just upload as it is. And in the webroot folder, you'll see there's one file called M-Pesa private, and I go into the webroot of the host and I upload that one there. Then I created an empty database and I want to set up the PesaPi database. So I have an empty database. I do an import. I select in the PesaPi folder, there's a file called database SQL. I select that file. I choose go. And I wait a moment, and you can see that there's now 3 tables in the system. Next up, we start creating the actual website. For this I use my favorite editor. I start creating a file. I go into PesaPi, PHP webroot. I create index.php. We'll just create a simple static HTML file. And this is the event page. We create a form and we tell it to submit to buy.php. And some few input fields. Name and a phone number. Of course you would put whatever you would need for your particular solution, and of course a submit button. That's the first file, and then we create a second file which is then buy.php. Now buy.php is where we actually use PesaPi, so it's a bit more complicated, but not much. First of all, we need to make sure we can include PesaPi, so we configure the include path to also search into the include folder we just uploaded. Then we just require the autoload file, and PesaPi will work from there on. Then we start using PesaPi. Create a new PesaPi object. And then we check if we have a receipt number. And we say that the transaction, if we have a receipt number, we say call the PesaPi, we call locate by receipt with the particular receipt number that's been given. And if there's any transactions found, of course this needs to be a little more detailed in real life. You also have to check that the amount is correct, but now we're just checking if there's actually any transactions at all with that particular receipt number. And if that's the case, then we have found the payment, so we're happy. Payment have been received. So payment received. A simple HTML file for that. Now, of course, normally you should not just mix HTML and PHP like this, but this is just to show the general concept. Now, if we do not have any transactions found, then clearly we need to ask the user for please entering the receipt number. So we do that. It's create another HTML file. And actually, this is still in the case where we have a received. Or if we're not found, maybe the user entered the wrong code or whatever. It's hard to say. So we create a form which submits to this file itself, and it just has one input field. And a form, end of HTML. Now, if there's no receipt number in the first place, we have to ask for the user to enter the receipt number as such, so we'll do so. We instruct the user to send the money to the particular mobile number. whatever. And of course a form to actually do it. We can just copy the form from up here. So and that's really all we need. Next, we reload and we upload the index and the PHP file. Upload into the web root of the site. Finally, we need to configure the configuration file. So let's do that. So you open PesaPi PHP, include PesaPi configuration. And here you have the file. So the configuration file has a list of options. You want to make sure that production mode is true. You want to have the simulation to false. You enter the username and password and the name of the database, and you enter it twice. And I've already done this actually here. You scroll down, you get, well, actually the rest is just default. So once you've done that, you then upload the configuration file. So we go back, include, plus people, PesaPi, and there's the configuration. Include, plus people, PesaPi, and here's the configuration file. Let's upload that one too. And we replace the existing. Now we can go to the website, and it will say, please register for the PesaPi hackathon. So we says, type in your name and your number, and you, yeah. After you fill in, and then you see the next form, which is saying that you have to enter the number. We can try to enter a number and check what it happens. It will say, sorry, we cannot find it. Next, we need to get the integration working so that the payments is actually coming in. The next step is to take your Android device and you load up the market and you search. So you search for SMS sync. And here you have it. It's developed by Ushahidi. You download and install that one. And of course that will take a second. It's developed by Ushahidi, by Henry Ado, and it is the gateway that enables us to use these private M-Pesa account, because it is a tool that forwards SMSs into a HTTP request. So we start the program. We go to settings and we enter the synchronization URL. Now this is important. Here we type the URL of the website we uploaded to. And slash, and in the web root there was this file and Pesa underscore private .php. Put that one in. You have to enter the secret. It has to be the same as in your PesaPi configuration file. Default was just ABC. You should of course change this. And then you scroll down and you start SMS sync. You will note that once it's started, then at the top of your Android there's a small SMS sync icon, and that's all you need to do. Finally, we transfer the 50 bob through M-Pesa, and we type in now a receipt code that actually works. That's the one we've gotten back from M-Pesa when sending. And as you can see, the system realizes that it has been received.